Hey everyone, I've had quite a few members asking me if it is okay to register a new domain name and then set up a new Shopify store and Google Merchant Center. This is what I used to do over a year ago, and it used to work fine, but recently Google and the Google Merchant Center checks seem to be putting a lot more emphasis on the domain name age. So, for example, if you just register a domain name, set up a new Shopify store, and then create the GMC, Google seems to not like that so much now because there's no trust, there's no age on the domain name. They seem to give more positive signals to domains that have a bit of history or certainly have not been registered recently. So for me, and I have been testing this on various stores, Google certainly prefers aged domain names. So any domain name that is over 30 days old seems to kind of pass that verification check, if you like. That's not to say that you can't get a new domain name approved for the Google Merchant Center and stay approved. It just means it's slightly more difficult. And on that basis, I would recommend everybody within the community to actually, well, there's two options. You can start registering domain names now with a view to using them later in future, for example, after they're 30 days old. Now, it's easy for Google to check a domain name age. Anybody can check using the whois information. So Google bots easily scan your domain and find out how old or young it is, whatever the case may be. So that's one option, is just to register domain names in advance. I've done that in the past. There is a another option available to people, and that's the option I want to show you in this video. Basically, it involves purchasing an expired domain name. Now, when I've described this tactic in the past to other members, they've incorrectly thought that you had to go to a marketplace and bid on a domain name. That is not what I'm recommending. What I recommend is that you go to the website called expireddomains.net and you search for available domain names, domains that have got history, that have probably been websites in the past or were certainly registered domain names in the past. And when you re-register them again, the domain age actually has that historical age from when the domain was originally registered. So that might sound a bit complicated and a bit convoluted, so I just wanted to do this quick demo video and show you how I do it. So in essence, you only need two things. You need to go to the expireddomains.net website, and also I always recommend you set up a namecheap.com domain registrar account, and I'll show you why. So let's get started here. Let's first and foremost expireddomains.net is the domain that we're going to go to. You can create a free account. There's no need to purchase a subscription, just register for free. This updates every day with hundreds of thousands of expired domains. So what you're looking for is a domain name that's going to obviously be good enough for your store. Again, I always recommend to just register.com. The name itself doesn't really need to mean anything either. You're just looking for a snappy name that could be used for either your fashion store, your home decor store, any store in any country really. So I'm not a big fan of registering like .nls, .co.uk's, .nets. I always register .coms. I just think if you start in one country and you want to move to other countries, I think the .com is a universal domain language, if you like, and can be used anywhere. So I always just register .com. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to find a suitable domain name using expireddomains.net, and then we're actually just going to go to Namecheap and register the domain because we know it's actually available. On Namecheap, you will be able, if you have a new account, you'll be able to register the domain name for $6.49, which is about half price, at least half the price of most regular domain registrars. So you just need to use one of their promo codes. So just Google promo code for Namecheap, and you'll be able to register the domain for $6.49, which is an absolute bargain. So as I said, I've already got an expireddomains.net account. So when you log in and register here, sign up and you want to click on this tab, deleted domains, not the marketplace one. Now, as I said, there's hundreds of thousands of domains that get deleted every day. So what I would suggest is that you click on this deleted domains here and you create a filter so that you only get the domains that you're interested in. As I've already said, I wouldn't use .co.uk's in any other countries, or .websites, .shops. I don't like that kind of thing. .nls. So I've already got some filters, so let me look at my filter here and I'll just show you the criteria I've entered. Let's show the filters. So yeah, this is how we filter out all the stuff we do not want. So we want no numbers, no hyphens, no adult names. I've put a domain name length of 12, that's just a preference. I always think the shorter the domain name the better, really, but at the same time, you know, you're not going to have lots of great domain name candidates from the expired list, so try not to limit it too much. Always use an English dictionary word, it just makes sense. And I always set it so that the maximum words in the actual domain would be 2 as max. You don't want big convoluted domain names. So let's just apply that filter now. Apply filter. So this is now, well, the fact it already has. So as you can see, there's still a lot of domain names coming up. I guess the important part here is you can see that they're all available. Again, you can register them through expireddomains.net, but I just go directly to Namecheap and register the ones that I see. So you can sort them by different order. The only caveat and risk I'd like to highlight here is before you register the domain name, Google it. Make sure it's not got any bad links, bad reviews related to any dodgy websites, because that's actually going to work against you. That being said, you know, you're not going to get, you know, it's different registering a brand new domain. You're going to get the choice of like what words and what names to give it a theme, so you're going to have to like look through a few pages here. But as I say, some domains come with backlinks. Some of the backlinks can actually work positively and give your domain some positive signals. Just be sure that you search Google and perhaps Bing just to make sure that there's no negative links associated with the domain, because that would actually defeat the purpose of registering an expired domain. I'm not going to spend too much time here because everybody has their own kind of preferences for store names. I'm just going to look for something that could perhaps be used for any kind of store. You know, maybe something like Honey G's, I'm not sure. Again, I prefer to keep it kind of English words because you can use that in any language. Just try to see if we can actually find a decent candidate. So I think it took me about 7 pages to find a couple that I registered last week. Again, you're at the mercy of what is deleting, of course. I usually look for something that sounds either like a girl's name, a city, or a man's name. Only Blissful, not too bad. again, you'll probably be guided by your usual domain name preferences. There's probably domains in here that you might like that I won't. There's a female name. I actually think that could be a famous singer, so just be careful with some of these expired domain names. Yep. My Lotus Oasis. Again, I would consider that to be 3 words. Again, potential for a pet store, Alaskan Paw, who knows. Quite like that one, lilyrep.com, nice and short. Look for another couple of pages just so you get the idea. It tells you how many links the domains have, how many backlinks. When it was first registered, you can actually go into the Wayback Machine and click and see some screenshots to see what was actually on the domain previously. So I'd recommend you kind of do all that. Blaze Ridge. Secrets Homes. Let's try one more page, see if there's anything else that stands out. Again, you can come in every day. It's not like you have to register this one today. You could come in tomorrow and see if there's any more. But I've actually got this is page 8 of 10,961. So you can see that you could sit here all day and look. It might be the case if you've got a certain theme that you're looking for, then you can update your filters so that it's more relates to what you're looking for. Baylor Care. Again, it depends on your niche. That could be one as well. The other thing I would say is just stay clear of kind of brand names or like Barbie and things like that. You don't want to get involved in all that. Astor. Even this name. I mean, that might even be an option depending on what sort of store you're running or plan on running. Again, I like people's names, especially if you're you're creating a fashion store. I think people's names are pretty good. Jamie Bryce would be good. I like this one as well, Solana Luna. It's a really good name for a store, I would suggest. Yeah, so I think you get the idea. You don't only take you 10-15 minutes, you'll probably find 2 or 3 different candidates. Let's say when you find the one you like, go to Namecheap, register it for $6.49 and connect it to your Shopify store. This is a really cheap way of getting a edge domain name. It's going to tick the boxes for Google and it's going to make your Google Merchant Center stronger. It's what I do and it's what I recommend to all our students. So yeah, I hope you found that useful.